What's happening, legends? Welcome back to the Becoming Reborn podcast. Today, we're going to talk about if we had 20 kilos to lose, what the hell would we do?
Yeah, so this is, I guess, targeted at speaking to people who they may have never stepped foot in a gym before in their life, or they may have previously been fit and through life circumstances haven't exercised in a long time, have put on a lot of weight and have to start again. And it's essentially because there are a lot of people in that situation, and it's us, Travis, giving advice on how we would most effectively do that. Fair to say we've probably got expertise in the area, given that we've had literally thousands of people in this situation come through the gym and either do well or not do well. And we know what the best way to do it is.
How old were you when you became a PT?
It's a fantastic question. 22, 23?
How long have you been a PT for?
Shit, that's a long time.
Yeah.
16 years.
I've been a PT since I was 19. So how long's that? And I'm 38.
19 years.
19 years. So almost
Half your life. Holy shit, Travis. We're getting old, aren't we?
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy.
Mm.
So that's why I asked that was like, that's where the experience comes from.
Yeah.
We've seen it all come and go. Geez, we've seen some fads and trends.
Yeah.
And so I don't like the current one.
What's that?
Peptides.
No.
Anyways, we've done a podcast on that.
All right. So we've got some questions, guys. So we've got 10 questions that we are both going to answer.
Yeah.
And then we're going to finish with 5 tips that if you had to start again and lose 20 kilos, what would you do?
Of course, Paddy, he gave us homework there's so many questions.
That was about 45 minutes ago too.
Yeah. I do my best work that way. Anyways.
Nice. Question 1, Travis, what is the very first thing you do? By the way, we haven't spoken about our answers. They may link, they may not. I kind of hope some of them don't, but we'll see. So Travis, what's the very first thing you'd do on day 1 if you had 20 kilos to lose?
I go for a walk. Just get started. You know what I mean? Just get started.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Dive in the pool.
I'm not sure if it's the next one or because you kind of ask the same question twice a lot of the times.
Sorry.
I was barking about that this morning.
Sorry.
Like that would be like my action. He's like, all right,
just get started.
Rather than, the old, I'll wait till Monday, just go for a walk. And that might only be a 10-minute walk, 5-minute walk, whatever it may be. I just want to get moving. Get those steps up.
Nice.
You?
The very first thing I'd do on day 1, my first action is to tell everyone around me. Self-accountability is okay, but public accountability is amazing. And included in that, the closest people to me, I'm asking for their help. I'm sitting them down, serious conversation. I'm thinking my wife, if I'm married, or someone that I live with, or my parents.
Yeah, you're married.
I am married.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Yep. Got it there. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. But sitting down, for example, with my wife and saying, all right, I want to get fit and healthy again. I want to lose 20 kilos. This is going to take a lot from me, but also you and us, and I want your help. Travis.
Pat, should we play a little bit of a game?
Oh, I'd love to. I love games.
I love games too. Okay. Should you think of someone that we're literally talking about right now, right? That has been in this situation.
Got it.
I'm going to do the same.
Yep.
Pretend you're that person.
Okay.
So I know I'm going to call me Metcalf.
Okay, Metcalf.
Okay. What's your name?
I don't want to use the person's name.
Yeah, just don't then.
CJ.
Oh,
that's my Claude's name.
It's a Claude's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Claude
heaps of sense.
Yeah,
Metcalf. Okay. All right. I'm Metcalf. It's great to meet you, CJ.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Next question.
Yep. All right.
Because all these things here now tie into
we're
that
in
person.
We're now talking on
Metcalf.
behalf. I'm talking on behalf of CJ.
Yeah.
All right. Metcalf, what's the biggest mistake you'd be tempted to make?
You missed the question, but that's okay. It'd be doing too much too early. You said no planning, no 6-week program. What's the first action you take? Or was that all in one question?
Yeah, that was the answer. Or there was a suggested answer.
Oh,
sorry.
Was it? Oh, well,
just the big black ones I've got. Anyway.
Oh, mine don't look like that.
Oh, yeah, because I sent it to you in a text. Anyway, sorry about that.
That's so good. Anyways, Metcalf here speaking.
Right.
Doing too much too soon.
Okay.
That would be when I have done that.
Yep.
I've got excited.
Yep.
We all get excited, and then I jump in. And in the past, I've actually won a few challenges. And when I win the challenge, it's great, but then I put it all back on. So
Yeah.
this time I know that I can't do that. I've
Yep.
got to ease into it, and I've got to find a sustainable lifestyle to get this 20 kilos off and keep it off.
Love that. Well
Yeah,
done.
I'm so in Metcalf right now.
Yeah, you are. My answer was almost identical.
Of course
The biggest mistake I'd be tempted to make is to go too hard too soon. And that's the biggest thing that we've seen, isn't it? Sorry, Trav. I'll talk to Trav now.
Talk to Trav.
Yep, just now.
Just now.
The biggest thing that we see that people get wrong when they have a big journey to go on or they have a lot of weight to lose and they haven't done anything for a long time is the enthusiasm at the start and they go way too hard.
And they just get too excited.
Yeah.
And because the results slow up, that it's the same with their motivation, which sucks.
Yeah.
But if they and what's even worse, Pat, is like they got that dog in them because they're pumping out the sessions.
Yeah.
I know me, Metcalf, I'm killing it.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. What's your next question?
If you could only change one habit for the first month, what would it be?
Okay, let me just make sure that I'm on the right one. Okay, so I wrote you, and you gave some examples, Patrick.
Yes.
And it was really hard to choose from. So the examples Pat gave was walking, protein, sleep, strength training, water, something else.
We might differ here.
I wrote back, wow, tough one, Patrick. It says it right there.
I believe you.
I'd like two, and it'd be walking and sleep. But you said I can only have one. So I'm going to go with walking, Patrick.
Nice.
And the reason why Metcalf is going to do the walking is because I believe the walking is going to help my sleep. Sleep is the most important one, hands down. But if I get walking, I reckon I'm going to feel a little bit more clear at night. And if I'm a bit more clear at night, I'm going to have a better sleep.
Yeah, and you probably, neither of those are going to be wrong because walking is going to help with your sleep and sleep is going to be giving you, like, you'll be much more able to walk.
Yeah. What did you do? I was so interested.
Exercise in general. So to be honest, pretty similar to yours. I just didn't specify walking, but exercise to build the momentum. It starts the momentum. And what we've found here is when somebody wants to go on a big journey at Reborn, they'll be like, we'll get them to start exercising. And then they go, can you write me a meal plan? What supplements should I be taking? And they try and then tick off every single box. And I say, look, for the first 2 weeks, all I want you to focus on is just getting 4 exercise sessions in a week. That's it. That's it. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, they come back and go, you wouldn't believe it. I'm like, what? My food has improved out of sight. They go to the gym and then they go home and all of a sudden the hormones and the emotions in their brain aren't craving shit food. And there's also the thing of, well, I've just busted my ass for an hour. I'm not going to go and eat 2 pizzas and completely ruin all the momentum I've gained. And they start eating healthier anyway. So it just starts with exercise. You just start moving and you generally don't crave the bad things that lead to the bad habits. It's a
flow-on effect, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Next question, Travis. Would you worry about calories in the first month?
Patrick, may I say, again, great question.
Thank you so much.
And I toss with this one because I have always said no. But I think for Metcalf, in this situation, I would, but only because I wouldn't dive deep into it. I just want to get the gauge of where I'm sitting right now so I know what my framework is that I need to work with, right? So if I'm eating, way over my calories at the moment, it's like, okay, I know what the problem is now. Now I just need to get it within this range. And I will do it for like a week. Like, remember how we used to do that with challenges?
Yep. It's like you checking the Speedo.
I used to love that story when you tell. Would you like to tell everyone about
Speedo?
Yeah,
sure.
You've told this to Metcalf, by the way.
Yes, yeah. How we, when we would do these weight loss challenges, how we would encourage people to track calories if they wanted to was not every meal and every day is a bit like if you're driving your car and you get a couple of speeding tickets and you just go, I should probably check my speed every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit there staring at the Speedo while I'm driving. No. Look at the road. But then every now and then you just check down the Speedo. Oh, yeah, I'm going 58 in the 60 zone. I'm okay. Or you might, and I'm guessing this is the reason why you're encouraging Metcalf to count calories is because he's looking down and he's doing 75 in a 40 zone.
Yeah.
Shit, Metcalf.
Yeah.
Pull up, champion.
Yeah.
I don't want him getting a speeding fine.
I still feel offended. Anyways, what was your answer?
My answer was absolutely not. I would not encourage CJ to count calories. Main reason, a couple of reasons. First of all, there can be like too much prep and planning that goes into going into losing weight. Like you can be focusing too much on the wrong things. And I'm not saying calories are the wrong things, but what I would focus on doing is what you can add to your diet, not what you can remove. So if you are eating sufficient protein and you are adding vegetables in at every meal and you're drinking enough water, generally, if you're doing those things, there's not enough room for anything else. So instead of having the mindset of, I need to reduce calories, I need to cut foods, the mindset is, what can I add instead of what can I reduce? And then it is a much more positive way to think. So I wouldn't encourage CJ to count calories, even though I understand the reasons why.
Yeah, and I completely agree with what you're saying as well. So that's why it's a very hard one.
Yeah.
Was this next one a question as well, or would you focus on building habits before worrying about numbers?
It wasn't a question, but that, yeah.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just our AI giving us suggested answers.
Okay.
Apologies for that. It didn't come across to you formatted. But anyway, so I'll ask the questions and then it might mean it skips one in your answers, but just answer what I've asked. Maybe.
Okay. I'll just do that from now on.
All right. My next question, how would you stay motivated after the excitement wears off?
Okay. I would come up with like a little simple tracker. So I use this from what you said it yesterday, Patrick, when we were doing the chat about the Forever seven simple steps.
Yep.
Right. I would create something that where I could achieve. I know I could achieve those things at a very, or not very, but a quite low barrier.
Yeah, conservative.
Yes, exactly right. Because what I'll do is I'll be focusing on my habits, not the results of like, all right, because all I want to do for this first month, this first 30 days is just develop the habits. And if I write down little simple steps that I've got to achieve every single day, but they're, what'd you say? Conservative?
Yep.
Conservative, then that's what's going to keep me motivated. But what word I'd like to use instead is I want to keep the momentum.
Nice. That is a good word.
Like that.
You know, the funny thing, our answers differ here, and I'm thinking of the type of person, the personality you are, that suits your personality, the type of person I am. My answer suits that.
Yeah.
So for CJ, how I would stay motivated after the excitement wears off is track everything. So I am motivated by seeing results. So I'm actually not doing what Trav mentioned for Metcalf of tracking the habits. I am tracking the results. So I'm talking about if I'm going in and doing weights, I'm tracking, all right, I did 10 reps of 60 kilos for bench press
tracking the
on
performance.
Monday. The following week, I put 60 kilos on and I get 12 reps. I am extremely motivated by seeing that result because I can see myself getting stronger. And I'm also tracking, if I'm on a cardio machine, what numbers am I hitting? If I am running or even walking, let's say I'm walking 5Ks every Tuesday morning, right? I'm timing the first time I walk that 5Ks and seeing how quick I do it. And then the next week I'm doing it again. And that is how I stay motivated, by improving that result. Because I can tell you what's going to happen the next week. If I got 27 minutes 52, I'm going for 26 minutes.
Yeah. Love
and that's how I stay motivated. But it's probably a different answer for most people depending on who you are.
I've actually got a little bit of something on that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I'll ask you the next question, Travis. If you had to spend money on one thing, shit, I said two. I didn't even read my own question, and it's in capitals. If you had to spend money on one thing, what would it be?
Well, if it was Travis, it'd be shoes, obviously, because that was one of the options you gave me. But this is about Metcalf, not Travis.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean? It would be personal training, actually, Patrick.
Why?
Because going back to what you said previously at your very first answer, it's accountability. Having someone there, and Metcalf's a little bit too proud to tell the people around him. You know what I mean? He's fallen off the bandwagon too many times for people to actually believe him. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. I thought you would have by now. But anyways, yeah, I've fallen off the bandwagon too many times. So like, bit of like the boy who cried wolf if I start telling some more people. But I do love what you were saying before. I'm gonna get someone that is gonna tell me what to do because I can't listen to myself anymore.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
But anyway, I thought you were talking about Luke Metcalf, the NRL player, but now I've put it together. Anyway, because it's not him. He doesn't have 20 kilos to lose.
No,
he's an elite rugby league player, professional athlete. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do you play with him, new? No.
if I had to spend money on one thing, it would be, I've got two, but I'll start with the first one, a gym membership. And it's what we spoke about in the previous podcast, actually, Travis, last week. I just remember it after a week. To give you the best environment for success. You just understood there. We record 2 podcasts back to back and they go out 2 weeks in advance. It was a little joke from Paddy.
Little lol.
Anyway, so yeah, the first thing that I'd spend money on is a gym membership because the environment you're in is a huge determining factor in your success. And I would make sure that that environment is the best, regardless of what it costs.
I'd love to hear what the people who are listening right now, what their answers would be here as well. It'd be so interesting.
Can I give you my second answer?
Yeah, well, you wrote one in capitals,
I
but
know.
yeah, you can give 2. You didn't even follow your own directions.
I know. I spoke about that. A tracker to measure results and help with momentum. Something to track, like a fitness tracker, an Apple Watch, a Whoop, a Garmin. I don't care what.
Yeah.
But again, that's I know my person. I know CJ's personality.
Bit tism.
CJ is autistic. Yeah.
Is he?
Yep. All right. Next question. What advice would you completely ignore from the fitness industry? It's a good question. I don't know where you're going to take this.
This was such a good question. And I was so lucky when I was reading this question that I was sitting in the room with my colleague, D-Wags. And D-Wags gave me this. And it is, if anyone says that there's one silver bullet to solve your fitness and health needs, they're wrong. So to not follow that person. So don't listen to anyone out there that's saying this is the reason you will lose weight, or this is the only way you can do this, because everyone is different in terms of our personalities. But the biggest part about this is everybody is different. What works for you doesn't necessarily work for me. Works for Fa'a Manu, the Samoan prince, isn't necessarily going to work for our colleague, Daniel Wags' staff. Right. So what advice I'd be avoiding is anyone that says this is the only way to do X.
And my advice that I'd be ignoring is that you need to go on a diet or count calories to get results. You don't have to. And to be honest, it's along the same vein as what you mentioned there, Trav, that like you don't have to do it this way. You can do it any way you want. Just find something that works for you.
Yeah, you got to find you have to find it so works within your lifestyle. Otherwise, it's going to be a fad. It's just going to be like, well, for me, in Metcalf, it's exactly what I've been doing. I've just been jumping on the back of bandwagons and not sticking to anything, Patrick. Anyways.
Next question. How would you measure success if the scales disappeared, Metcalf?
Well, going back to our personalities, Metcalf would be tracking daily habits. All right. So I'd be measuring it through, consistency, making sure that I'm hitting X amount of tasks per day. Similar to your tracking, but obviously just in an opposite way.
Mine, I've got 2 answers here. Physically, how I would measure my success is by my clothes, how my clothes fit.
Yeah,
so I encourage people not to get on the scales, regardless if you have scales or not. In fact, if you have scales out there, please throw them out. They're going to do you more harm than good mentally. And the second way is, like you mentioned, and my previous answer was go by results. How much weight can I lift for how many reps each week, and compare that week to week? Because again, if the scales aren't shifting, but I'm getting stronger and I can lift more and heavier each week, then I'm obviously building muscle. So my muscle mass is going up, my body fat's going down, even if the scales stay the same.
Is CJ's take 2 scoops of protein as well, like you?
He will be. I can tell you that. You know what? He might even take a third. Who knows? All right, next question. At what point would you increase the challenge?
Patrick, another really hard question.
Yeah, I know.
Really hard. And like my first answer is quite vague. It's like when the habits and the routines are set. But you even, well, I don't know if it was you or was it CJ that wrote this as well?
Yeah.
Like gave the examples like when does a walk go to a run? Mine would be, so starting off when things become habits, right? Like how that looks is when you don't have to think about it. You know how like you have to put your alarm on, you got to think about, all right, I get my clothes out for the next day, and you got to, plan your session, all those types of things. When those things start happening like effortlessly, like without you thinking, like just like when you brush your teeth, those types of efforts, then that's when I'd be starting to increase. And I'd wait until that moment. I think that's where
Don't go early.
Yeah, don't go early.
Mm.
You'd rather get like wait a little bit longer and then go in a little bit later so that you can do it long term. Always play the long game. But yeah, it'd be along those lines. Like when things just start becoming natural, that's when I'd start increasing the challenge was the question. And then also to go a bit further with the walking and running, I would actually start incorporating like a walk run. And I don't know if I did this with you, Patrick, at Reborn, or if I did it at Keep Young. When I used to take people to start them running, I'd always start with a walk run, and I'd use the light poles. Was it you and I talking about this? And you'd walk to the next light pole, jog to the next one, walk, jog, and you do that, and you do it for an X amount of time. Like
I chatted about this to Sarah yesterday.
No way.
Literally yesterday. Because she was saying she went for a run and because she set a running goal in her OKRs and she went for a run and she said her knee was just in agony. I said, how long has it been since you run? She said, months. I said, what did you do? She goes, I ran for 40 minutes. And I was like, no wonder your bloody knee's sore.
Yeah.
You haven't run in ages and you just go bang and throw like 6-7 Ks at it. And I said, I was coming back from an knee injury not long ago when I injured myself in high rocks. And then after chatting to my physio, what I did was Douglas Brantman, shout out to Dougie,
Love you,
Flow
Doug.
Physio, best physio on the planet.
Love you so
Fixes
much,
my
Doug.
body up. Oh, I love him as well. And my return to running plan was the first run I did, I ran 1 minute, walked 4 minutes. Ran 1 minute, walked 4 minutes. Do you know what it felt like? A fucking waste of time.
Yeah,
But the next week, ran 2 minutes, walk 3 minutes. Ran 2 minutes, walk 3 minutes for 30 minutes. Then the next week, run 3, walk 2, run 3, walk 2. And essentially you just keep dropping a minute off the walk and adding a minute to the run.
makes heaps of sense.
4 weeks later, guess what? I'm running again.
Love that.
And I can run 45 minutes without stopping. So forget where I got to that point, Travis.
Well,
What point would you increase the challenge? Yeah, go slow. Don't go too hard. And how I answered this was when it becomes easy. You want it to be easy. And it's very similar vein to what you mentioned, Trav, when you can do it with your eyes closed. All right, last question here. Fast forward 12 months, what does success actually look like?
Yeah, you gave me examples here, and they were so good, right? And mine's perfect. This answer is perfect for Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with my kids without getting puffed was one of the suggestions you gave, and that's the one.
Right up your alley.
That's the one. Say less. You know what I mean? Like it sounds so simple, but at the moment, like when my kids are playing, they're playing footy in that. I can't keep up. You know what I mean? I want to be able to be either coaching them or training with them and not have them waiting for me because I'm too unfit. I want to be able to be as active as I can with my kids while I can. So that's my answer, Patrick, or Metcalf's answer.
Yep. What does success look like for CJ? It's having an identity as someone who trains. So I actually don't care. And 12 months sounds like a long time.
No.
I actually don't care how much weight I've lost, how much fitter I've gotten. I know that stuff will come if I am someone who exercises regularly. So I want to fix the identity problem first, become somebody who trains often, and the results are going to come.
Love that.
All right. Now, to finish this, Travis, we're going to come up with our top 5 tips each, one at a time, for someone starting off the gym from scratch that has a big journey ahead of them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change a couple of mine. But
Okay.
I'll go for yours.
All right.
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll go one. I'll go one to start with because it goes in line with what I've been talking about. I'd build some sort of habit tracker.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the first thing I do because I'm an organized guy. I don't know whether I'm Metcalf or Travis now that we're in the 5 tips, by the way. Bit lost. Am I Travis?
I don't know. You came up with the Metcalf thing, so I was just running off the back of
Okay,
you.
I'm back to Travis.
Okay.
I would build a habit tracker. That'd be the first thing because it's just like, all right, I want to have a plan of what I'm going to do.
As I'm looking at my notes, Travis, I realize I only wrote down 3 and I've got 2 extra gaps for 4 and 5. But
Hey, that's what we're here for.
I'm just going to go off the dome,
Yeah.
as our man D-Wag says. My first tip, it's not written down here, but it's my number 1, is write down my why.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I say write down. This isn't typing in your phone or on your laptop. get a piece of paper, get a pen, and write down my why. Why I want to get fit, why I want to lose 20 kilos, why I want to live a healthy lifestyle. Now, for CJ, it's about his family. And I think Metcalf is the same.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I know that if I was 20 kilos overweight and not showing the best version of myself to my kids and not leading with the best example, that is going to be my why, guaranteed. And I know that when people talk about struggling for motivation, if I've written that why and I'll be putting it up on the fridge or somewhere where I can see it every single day, then it's easy.
Can I take yours and put that as my one, and then put my number two as the habit?
Well, you can say you can say that next, but it's still your number one.
I'm going to steal it. Yeah, that
Do
why.
you want to speak about it a bit?
Yeah, that why is so important, because that becomes, if you're getting up early and training in the morning, that becomes the motivation to get up. You know, if you're an afternoon trainer, when you're driving home and you're tired, it's been a big day. I'm thinking about Metcalf at the moment. That becomes why you turn left to the gym and you don't go right and go home and snack on crap. So writing down your why becomes so powerful for this whole journey, because that is your motivator, it's your momentum, it's what keeps you going when things get tough. Is you can lean back on it. I love the you just threw it out there, Pat, and just walked away. Write it up and put it on the fridge. Keep it right in front of mind, in front of your face at all times. I think that's a fantastic.
Put it on the beer fridge, Metcalf. If that's on the beer fridge, I'm being serious. If that's on the beer fridge, you have to look at that piece of paper and get past it before you're cracking open the next beer. Seriously, get it in the way of the negative habits that you want to remove from your life.
That's really good. Yeah, so that's now my one.
Yep.
But
it's your second, but it's your best.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
My second tip, and it's what I started off with as the first thing I do, is tell the closest people around you. Sorry, that was an interesting reaction, Travis. Hope you got that one on camera, new. That was cute. So not only tell the closest people around you, but ask for their help.
Yeah.
If CJ right now is 20 kilos overweight. Now, this is going to sound harsh, but there's a reason CJ is 20 kilos overweight. CJ's actually been trying to do it by himself for 10 years and it's failed. So
come on, CJ.
And I know CJ's a proud person, but sometimes pride has to be removed or forgotten about so that you can ask for help. And to be honest, this is probably the hardest tip for a lot of people out there, is physically asking for help.
Yeah.
But I know if I were to sit down, I'm a extremely proud person. If I were to sit down and be vulnerable in front of my wife and ask her for help with something, that would be difficult to do. So that's my tip. Even though it is difficult to do, it's going to yield great results.
Patrick, you wouldn't believe it, but my tip number 3 was also to tell a close one around you. And everything you said, you just nailed it. So I don't need to dive any further into that. That's fantastic. Well done.
Great. All right. My
What's
next tip, my tip number 4, manage expectations. Be realistic. Don't go on Instagram and look up results that other people have gotten and see how much weight people have lost over 6 weeks and aim to get there yourself. Be realistic and know that faster isn't always better. Every decision that you make when trying to get fit or lose weight again, your first thought should be play the long game. How is this going to impact me in the long term? Cutting certain foods out of your diet, that's going to get you a quick result, but that isn't the long game. So any decision that you make, and Travis and I have said this for years to hundreds, if not thousands of people that walked into the gym, any change you're going to make to your lifestyle, ask yourself, do you still see yourself making this change in 12 months' time? If the answer is no, don't do it. Oh, sorry.
This is my number 5.
Sorry. Well, you
That's
can speak a bit more about that because I only touched on it.
I hope the next one that I stole yours is your favorite thing in the world. My next tip is
Yeah.
improve my sleep. Sucked in, did you have it?
No.
Oh. You're the sleep guy.
Yeah, we're on the same team. So why are you
I
so
don't
sucked
know.
into me?
I don't know. It's been It's been a weird podcast, if I'm honest.
I don't know if Metcalf or Trav hates me
I
right
don't.
now.
I'm lost too. I'm bit in that transition phase where I'm coming back to Trav. I think I've
Well,
been
can you speak on behalf of Trav? Because I like Trav.
okay.
Thank you. I don't know about this Metcalf character.
Yeah, sorry. All right,
alright.
improve your sleep, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of the times in everyone's fitness journeys, it's the it's the forgotten tool that is going to help all the other tools, right? If you can improve your sleep, big sleep, guys. This is Travis speaking here, and
yeah.
Patrick. We love our sleep. Sleep routine is so crucial to any results, and I'm not talking about just physical. Talking about what you can do in terms of performance, your mental clarity, if nutrition even plays a part here as well. So the next thing I would do is come up with a good sleep routine.
Hey Trav, I remember something that Whoop have done. So Whoop is a wearable that Travis and I both get that tracks your sleep better than anything that I've found, and I'm a big sleep guy.
Yeah, big sleep guy.
I wonder if we can bring this in Reborn. Probably not, but I'd like to just throw it out there anyway.
Yeah, get it.
So Whoop, they give their employees bonuses if they hit certain targets every year, business-wise. But they all wear a Whoop, every employee. They don't get their bonuses unless their sleep performance average is over 80%.
I'm fucked. I wouldn't get a performance ever. I wouldn't get my goals ever.
Would that
No, my sleep
change?
My sleep quality sucks.
So sleep
figure it
performance
out.
is the one number that
I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Where I was going to go next is, would you change things to do with your sleep if that was as part of your contract?
Yeah, I don't know what else I can do, Patrick. In terms of my sleep consistency is 97%.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, that's hot, right? Like, you knew he's looking at me shaking, but at the same time, I know that he's like biting his lip.
Like, I'm like 92-ish% sleep consistency.
97.
And I'm like, it's the best ever.
Yeah, 97%. It's very good. We're getting off topic. We'll talk about the sleep stuff more. My last one, are we up to me?
No, we're up to me.
Oh,
because you spoke about your sleep one and I just spoke about Whoop. Anyway,
Oh.
my next tip is focus on habits, not results. You've spoken about this a lot. So I wouldn't be worried about how much weight I'm losing and getting on the scale every day. I would be focusing on the habits and the things that I'm doing that are going to move that needle further forward.
Yeah.
We've spoken a lot about it, so I probably don't have to go into any more depth.
And then my last one is what you spoke about. Mine would be focusing on a lifestyle change, not a short-term change.
Yep.
Because what we've seen so many times, and Metcalf is the king of this, is coming in and getting a great result short,
Yep.
only to lose it even quicker than they got it. And then the worst part about that is that the new low point is even lower than the starting point. And it just continually gets lower and lower and lower and lower to the point where it's like they can't see their way out.
And Metcalf, what does that do for your confidence?
Oh, well, right now, like I just sit at my desk and just drink myself away at night.
Not good.
No, it's not good at all. So play the long game that Patty was talking about from the start. It's you don't get into these fitness journeys and think, all right, this is a 6-week fast, aggressive fitness, like over-consuming journey. This is a long-term journey that you're going to
life.
Yes. You were talking about, was it in a podcast or we were just talking about the other day how like you got one body for the whole, you got the one body for your whole life. Take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my last tip is just play the long game, like you were saying before, and make sure it's a lifestyle journey, not a short and sharp challenge.
My last tip is don't go all in. Enjoy the things you love. Don't be all or nothing. So often we see people, especially with the mindset around fitness challenges, where they're either on or off. And this may sound a bit contradicting because both of us have done 75 hard before, but a lot of people out there that we've seen, Trav, will do 75 hard, and then the second that finishes, they're off and they can drink and they can party and they can eat shit and they can step back in their training. And then when they have put on a bit more weight or they feel like they need to tighten things back up again, they go on 75 hard again. We've got a few people in mind that we're thinking of both right now. And it's like, no, you don't want to be on or off. Don't go all or nothing. If you love a beer and you don't see yourself going 12 months without drinking, then drink every week. But Don't have 32 schooners on a Saturday. Give yourself 2 beers watching the footy on a Saturday night. That's it. Don't completely remove the things that you enjoy, which is an all or nothing mentality. Find that middle ground, similar to your point, that you can live for the rest of your life, because this isn't a 6-week thing. This is life.
Yeah, you just kind of flag that 75 hard. It sucks that it's seen as almost like a fat loss challenge now.
Yep. And it's not. It's a discipline thing.
I was actually going to do it when I came back from Bali. And the reason why I was going to do it when I came back from Bali is because I have nothing to train for at the moment. But at the same time, I don't need anything to train. You don't need anything to train for. I was like, I'll just jump in and do that. I was going to do it. But then the thing that turns me off it is like people jump on and think like, what are your results going to be? Mine wouldn't be anything physical.
Yeah.
Mine will be all to do with like locking in, focusing, making sure my time's more efficient, like those types of things. But anyways, that's another podcast. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
It was so fun being Metcalf. It was a little bit weird at the end there. I wasn't sure whether it was Metcalf or Travis.
Well, CJ enjoyed himself. Tell you that for free. Have a great day, Travis. And Metcalf, good luck on your journey.
Bye, guys.